While the debate goes on about comprehensive immigration reform in the United States, the Obama administration may be making a couple of changes that may make life in America more achievable for entrepreneurs and other technically skilled workers, groups in demand, especially right here in our region. Here to provide some perspective on all of this is Robert Whitehill, Chair of Immigration at the Fox Rothschild law firm. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, Bill. Nice to be here.
Let's start with the issue. The bottom line is we've got a lot of the best and the brightest around the world here in Pittsburgh, in our region, at our universities who might want to stay here and start a business. What's keeping them from doing that?
The immigration law. The immigration law imposes impediments to people starting their own business, being entrepreneurs, getting started on the next new brilliant idea that would allow them to stay, that would allow them to grow a business, and to allow them to employ U.S. workers. So what, they're here on some kind of a student visa and you can't easily convert that to stay on? Even you've got investors, you got an idea, you might have employees. You can't do that very easily. You can't do it very easily. Now, at the top of the show, you talked about the Obama administration doing something. Well, finally, August 2nd, there were announcements both at the White House level and at the level of U.S. Customs and Immigration Service to say, gee, we like startups, we like entrepreneurs. These people will promote jobs, create jobs. And so some of the restrictions that had heretofore closed the door for entrepreneurs have been opened a touch. It's still not, government doesn't give away visas, the government doesn't say, y'all come, but there is some loosening of the rules. And that can be done administratively? It doesn't really take Congress at Congress, because this is such a red-hot issue in Congress and with the legislature. Excellent point. Yes, it can. One of the impediments, I don't want to be overly technical, was a memo called the infamous Neufeld memo that came out in December 2010. That closed the door, to use that metaphor. The Secretary, or the Commissioner of Immigration on August 2nd opened that door and said, you know, as it relates to entrepreneurs and startups, forget about the Neufeld memo. So it was done administratively, and it was opened administratively. That doesn't mean there are not regulations that impose restrictions, that impose lots of requirements and hurdles that people have to jump over, but it's a step in the right direction, in my opinion. And I would assume a lot of potential if indeed this became at least a more reliable machine in terms of helping entrepreneurs. Well, that's absolutely correct. And let's go into another area, and that is investors. There is a program called the EB-5 program, and individuals have been on this show before talking about the EB-5 program. It is an opportunity for individuals from overseas to get permanent residency or green cards if they invest $500,000 or $1 million in a U.S. enterprise. And so there are lots of people out there, and maybe not all that many, but there are lots of people out there who've got $1 million to invest. And they will come to the United States and invest that money and get a green card. The government has said, let's open up that program, let's make it easier for people, let's speed it along, let's encourage regional centers to develop entrepreneurial opportunities, investment opportunities. So the government is opening the door. Wow, and again, you put that together, investment capital from overseas, and then these promising entrepreneurs, if you could ever make some of those matches, it could be pretty dynamic. I think that's what the government is saying. I think that, for example, individuals who are able to create jobs are now able to get visas, permanent residency visas, known as national interest waivers. So this is an opportunity for people who can show that their activity, their work, their brilliance and their entrepreneurship is going to create jobs to get green cards without investing the $1 million or $500,000. Wow. These are policy changes that have been able to be made by the administration without the need of Congress acting. Wow. Well, it's really exciting. Obviously something really to watch. I never thought anything could happen this fast when we were talking about the federal government when people started talking about this last spring. Robert Whitehill from Fox Rothschild, thanks for the update. This is exciting. My pleasure. Appreciate it. And when we return, an assessment of the impact energy is having on our region. Stay with us.